Welcome to Sports Uncorked, Gossip Girl edition. We've got a full agenda of gossip, and probably the biggest gossip of all, the playoff rankings were just released. So we'll share our insights on that, the Kiffin drama, and then the coaching carousel. Penn State got the leftovers of everyone else in college football.
My martini's 31 and no need to test me. On my worst behavior, but at least I'm with my besties.
I feel like you're right. This whole past week has been like a series of Gossip Girl tweets. It's been awesome. I feel like every day I close out Instagram and it's just like XOXO Gossip Girl because it's been crazy. And I cannot even, I think I have texted you every single day this week, absolutely giddy about all of this drama surrounding Lane Kiffin. I think that we already really loved Lane Kiffin. I told a couple friends earlier this week, I said, I think I've got a crush because we have to rename him the Honey Badger because he does not give a about anything that has been going on this. I mean, he really doesn't. At one point, I saw that Ole Miss released a t-shirt they were selling online that said, "Can't turn a hoe into a housewife." And Lane Kiffin retweeted it and like put it on his story. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I love that Lane is always so quick to respond, which is why I think he is like an athletic director's nightmare because he's such a hot rod. Has pretty much responded to every single remark, snarky meme, or what have you this week that's been on social media, and I've enjoyed every single minute of it. And there's been so much drama from like justice for Juice Kiffin. Is he the PR dog that Lane just up and left in Oxford to the rest of Lane's shit just being rolled out into the street? I think my most favorite, whether it be true or not, is the string of screenshots that girls have been posting on social media of their DMs with Lane. And even more so, I love all the girls that are like, Lane doesn't even do hot yoga. He just sits in the back and watches all of us do it.
Seen that one.
Yeah, I saw that now that he's gone, all of Oxford has turned on him. And so all of the girls that he took hot yoga with were like, yeah, Lane would show up 20 minutes late, leave 30 minutes early, and he would just sit in the back and watch all of us stretch. What a creeper. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised this was not an issue earlier in the season. But I guess, with all issues with other men, it's not an issue until he leaves you, right?
I think the whole saga and how he drew it out, right? It's going to be this whole thing he's going to announce after the Mississippi State game. Poor Marty Smith being like locked in the Ole Miss athletic facility for a good like 12 hours, no
Oh, yeah.
update. He's even like being ghosted by Lane. He's like, well, I text him and I haven't heard anything back. He could
Poor
have
Marty.
saved face and handled this so much better, but this
Mhm.
is like traditional Lane Kiffin. This is his reputation. I don't know why we expected anything more. And I think
That's
we
the
all knew he
best
was
part.
leaving.
I feel like that's the best part. I feel like people are so quick to forget that this is how Lane moves. Like this is not
Right.
surprising. This is not surprising for it. This is how he operates. This is how he left Tennessee. This is literally how he's left every other school. I don't know why people are so surprised. I think it's hilarious. I really do. I actually was a little shocked. I think that after he had done all of the ESPN 60 for 60, he was like, I needed Oxford more than Oxford needed me. I guess the part that I missed in his journey was that, the loss of his father last year, and he had to lean into some mentors to help him make this decision. And I think that something that either Pete Carroll or Nick Saban said to him was, your father would have said, go for it. You got to take this opportunity, take the shot. So I think after I heard that, I don't blame him. I probably would have gone to Baton Rouge as well. But more power to Lane. Honestly, I can't wait to see what he does down there.
The reasons for leaving, I think, on our last episode, we talked about why would you leave a place where you're a king, where they're going to name they're going to put a statue outside, they're going to name the stadium after you. You were a god in that town.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to continue to build a team out of a transfer portal every year because
Mm-hmm.
that's what he's had to do, right? He doesn't have the recruiting base in Mississippi that he would have in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
The NIL piece, I mean, the more that you hear about the NIL fund, almost like unlimited NIL money,
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge draw towards this, like, how do I build a team, establish a team, build my brand?
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss has been operating in the red this year. So when you look at how are they going to pay him and how are they going to establish that NIL fund with
Mhm.
their football athletic department running in the red already,
Mhm.
I think he just kind of saw the writing on the wall of what he wanted to do and where he needed to go to be successful. I don't
Yeah.
think if Ole Miss had the ability to offer what LSU is doing from an NIL standpoint,
Mhm.
it probably would have been more appealing for him to stay. I don't think he's doing it on a personal level. Like I
Yeah.
truly do believe that he didn't care what his personal contract was. I think he really did care about ensuring that he could bring in the players that he needed to bring in and pay them what they needed to be paid in order to do so.
Mhm.
Again, there needs to be regulation on this, which we've
Mhm.
talked about year over year over year over year. I feel like it's doing a disservice to a lot of people to have coaches leave because of NIL funding, but
Mhm.
that's the reality of the situation that we're in right now.
No, 100%. It is what it is, and I think that, Saban saw the writing on the wall very early on, but I think we've been saying this like week after week. I don't want to say that NIL is ruining college football, but it's just making it very, very, very different. They might as well just call it collegiate free agency because that is what it is. And unfortunately, that is how it's going to be until you have somebody that can pull the reins in on some of this. But I agree with you. He's got a much easier time recruiting in Baton Rouge. I mean, sorry, Oxford, but no one is flocking to no, we want to talk about BFE. I know that everybody is so quick to say that there are rednecks and hillbillies in Tuscaloosa and Auburn and Athens, but it's been a long, long, long time since I've been to Oxford, but I know that Oxford is a long way from another major city. You have a lot of kids that want to be in the middle of nowhere anymore. And so it's unfortunate, but I also think it is what it is. Now, I do want to ask your opinion. That was also a hot topic on this because God bless Marty. He was camped out down there in Oxford waiting to get that final word in that first interview with Lane. And, a lot of the drama was, well, he's meeting with the athletic director. He's at his house right now. His bargaining chip that he didn't want, like the hill that he did not want to die on, was that he wanted to coach through the playoffs. Now, I want to get your opinion on whether or not you think that he should have been allowed to coach in the playoffs because it's a very, very hot topic. And if I'm not mistaken, the athletic director wrote to his boosters that Lane was in hysterics when he left the office, and that is why he was not able to address the team before boarding the plane to Baton Rouge. I want to get your opinion on that because I've got a pretty solid stance.
Well, I'm going to equate this to like a Gossip Girl story. And I don't blame the athletic director for not allowing him to do so. It's like him coming in and saying, "Hey, honey, I'm leaving you for the neighbor down the street that you hate the most. But one request is that I would like to spend Christmas at home with the family." What do you think any normal person would say? No, get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. If that's your decision, get the hell out. And I
Mhm.
think that's the way that the athletic director felt about this situation. From what
Mhm.
I've heard, and again, it's all speculation at this point, right? Is
Right.
that he wanted this as a bargaining chip all along,
Mhm.
but it was made very clear early on that if you leave, you will not be allowed to coach. So I think he
Mhm.
kept thinking that he was going to be able to negotiate and negotiate and negotiate that, but it sounds like that was something that they were unwilling to flex on from the get-go. So for him to be in hysterics and dramatic, I mean, that all plays. Don't get me wrong, that all plays.
Phrase
But
hysterics is what
it's
absolutely just
crazy.
kills me. He was in hysterics and had to be removed from campus and really? But also I believe it.
He didn't seem hysterical when he was getting on the plane during that interview with Marty. He didn't seem hysterical. I mean, they kept pushing that player meeting back too, which was like even weirder,
Mhm.
right? It was supposed to be at 8 and then it was at 9:30 and then it was at 10, then it was like 12.
Oh,
Like these
yeah.
poor players were getting yanked around.
Yeah.
The whole thing was about as messy as it could go down. And that on the heels of the messiest coach firing slash departure, like what a disaster down in the
Absolutely.
Raging Cajuns down there in the South.
And I think you're absolutely right. And I think that, you know, I think that the question is because another coach that did accept a job is being allowed to play, being allowed to be coaching through the playoffs. And that is the head coach at Tulane. If Ole Miss was not ranked as high, would he have been allowed to stay and coach through the playoffs? I think that is kind of like the weird double-edged sword here. But at the same time, I don't agree that he should be allowed to coach through the playoffs with Ole Miss being ranked as high as they are because it's one giant advertisement for Lane Kiffin in the transfer portal. And what's going to be very interesting is what happens when January 2nd hits and that transfer portal opens. And I think right now we're all on, I mean, we went from being on Lane Kiffin watch for about 3 weeks. Now we're on Trinidad Chambliss watch. Like, where is he going to go? And I don't know if you caught this yesterday during the game, but great AT&T, great NIL dollar spent AT&T commercial featuring Trinidad Chambliss, where he was like, the transfer portal is open. Where's he going to go? He's like, of course I'm transferring to AT&T. But again, truth is stranger than fiction, friends, because that is something that we are going to be watching very closely over the course of the next 3 weeks. But I agree. He shouldn't be allowed to coach through the playoffs. I don't think anybody should.
And
And a
the
lot of
difference is
contracts are going to
he's
be
going
needing to
to
be
a
revised.
and I think the difference is going to a school that is in the same conference that is a rival
Mhm.
versus Tulane's coach taking a step up to a
Mhm.
Power 5 school
Mhm.
versus where or Power 4 school where he is
Right.
today with Tulane. Like that's a job opportunity and you're jumping up into a different level of play and different conference. So I do think those are different.
Yeah.
Like, you can't compare the 2 of those situations at all, in my opinion, and Tulane's like I love the fact that Tulane's playing Ole Miss, like, that's just another feathered storyline into the fun of this game. I mean, everyone's acting like Pete Golding is, like, the second coming of God for Ole Miss. Do you remember when he
Yeah.
was on Alabama's defensive staff and we were like, "Can we just fire this guy?" Like, we were all
It's all out
so
of
happy
spite.
when he left because he was horrible. Wha
It's all
the
out of
fact that they
spite,
just
though. I mean, we all know that the, saltiest thing after the Red Sea is a freaking Ole Miss fan right now, or I don't even know. Black Sea, Red Sea, whatever it is. But the Ole Miss fans are salty. The Ole Miss fan base is salty right now. So it is shots fired left. Listen, if Lane had left any other way, there would not be this much drama circulating at all. There would not be this much hate. There would not be this much hoe into a housewife nonsense that's been going on and on. It they are just absolutely salty. But like, let's be honest. If Nick Saban left us for LSU, we would be the same way. Now, granted, we wouldn't have screenshots of him sliding into the DMs of 18, 19, and 20-year-old girls, which is absolutely horrifying considering that's how old his daughter is. But, it kind of athletics, this is also a business. I know that people were pissed off that game day wasn't at this Ohio State Indiana game. Well, guess what? When ABC won the contract with SEC, that is going to generate a lot more money than watching puckered Ryan Day on television. I'm sorry, but it just is what it is. We are in a new era of watching sports on television. And I know that everyone was upset about it, but like, also, no one has been watching Ohio State all season because it's been boring. Like, call us when they're not playing East Illinois School for the Blind, and maybe we will tune in. It just is this is a business. I think we have to stop. And I'm also very, very guilty of it. I am guilty of like being a hopeless romantic for the love of college football. And I have to remind myself that this is a business at the end of the day, and this is all about money. Sorry, I said what I said.
So speaking of money, I was a little bit surprised with the playoff reveal today that Notre Dame couldn't buy a bid into the playoffs. I thought for sure there was going to be some kind of transaction behind the scenes that was going to unfairly put Miami out of the playoffs in favor of Notre Dame to be in. But that
And we
didn't
want to talk
happen. And
about
I think the
salty.
committee did a good job.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And you want to talk about salty? They just announced that they are not participating in any bowl games because they got passed over for the
Right.
college football playoff, which is honestly, it's fine. Fine. Go cry in your cereal. We could care less. Like, we don't care. You guys haven't
Did
played
they
anybody.
really?
Like, yeah. Oh yeah. This is
They really came out and said that?
Bleacher Report, ESPN, and Barstool Sports all have Barstool Sports is so ridiculous. They've got like the best image right now. But yeah, so Notre Dame has announced that they are not participating in any bowl game play after missing out on the college football playoff. And they released a statement saying, as a team, we've decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following the 2025 season. We appreciate all the support from our families and friends, and we're hoping to bring the 12th national title to South Bend in 2026.
Okay, so I hate that. Like, that is such poor sportsmanship.
It's
I
dramatic. It's so dramatic.
cannot believe that. But it's
I
even
can.
dumber. That's so petty. But it's even dumber because that's a huge revenue generating piece of their business. Like, the whole reason that they haven't joined a conference is because they want to keep all that bowl money themselves. So to say we're not going to play in a bowl game is like, it makes it even more asinine. And
Yeah.
I don't know, for like a Catholic university to be that petty and pull out of a bowl game when you're 13th ranked team in the country is you're
Hmm.
not sending a statement. You look like the poorest of poor sports, and it's not a good look.
Hmm. Oh yeah, it is. It's just super. It's super dramatic. But again, like they don't want to play in the Firestone Chicken Nugget Bowl. Like we get it because no one's gonna watch you guys play Marshall or whoever plays in that bowl. But you're yanking
Well,
opportunity.
it's the
You're just
same game we
continuing to
played
yank
in last
opportunity.
year. It's gonna be a good bowl game, Riss. I mean, when you're 13th, you get a damn good bowl game on New Year's Day in prime time, and you're gonna play a good school.
Hmm.
You're not playing in the Pop Tarts Bowl or the Duke's Mayo Bowl. You're playing in like the Outback Bowl or the Peach Bowl. I mean, you get a good. I don't know. That's ridiculous. That pisses me off.
Yes, I mean
Like
they're
no end.
salty. It's just it's very, very, very petty. And I think that they are ripping an opportunity from a lot of players to get one more chance to play this season. I also think that they are missing an opportunity to, again, what little revenue it could be. I mean, they've already shot themselves in the foot withdrawing from a conference. This is the absolute very least that they could do.
If they would join the ACC, like, everyone is asking them to join a conference. If they would have been part of that, they would have played Virginia last night and had a chance to get one of those play-in games, and if they're
Yeah.
as good as they look, they would have beat Virginia, and they would have taken that spot from James Madison legitimately. These are all of their own doings. They played 2 hard games this year, and they lost both of them. Like, you have
Yeah.
to take some accountability. Yes, it was by small margins, but you played and lost your 2 hard games. You didn't play anybody. Okay, you played USC, great. You played Pitt, great. But you gotta win the big games, especially knowing that you have so few of them and you don't have a conference championship. And to be that bitter because you set yourself up in this situation is ridiculous. Now,
I don't
do
think it
I think
how are they
that
gonna
James
help
Madison
themselves? How are they gonna help them? They're already like they have like the worst ranking in recruiting already. Like how are they're just continuing to shoot themselves in the foot. Like I don't know what they think is gonna happen rolling into 2026. Sorry, but good luck getting a national title based on that action alone. Because I don't see anybody that is going to be jumping into the portal to go up to South Bend after that.
I have always had a lot of respect for Marcus Freeman, like a
Hmm.
ton of respect. Didn't like Notre Dame, but liked Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
This move, if he was part of it, which he had a lot of say, I've literally lost all respect for him.
Yeah.
I would go that far.
Well,
That
I feel
is
like if Marcus Freeman had said it, he probably would have signed his name, but I don't know. I feel like at this
who makes the
we're getting to a
decisions,
point
the
now where a
AD?
lot of these schools we're dealing with some secret pawns that are pulling the puppet strings in the background. Like it's not all about the head coach anymore. They're just the highest
And
paid mouthpiece for the school's football team.
if Marcus Freeman didn't have his name on that, I almost feel like he needs to say that. Like the school made the decision or the players. We had so many players that were going to opt out. We couldn't have fielded a team. Like there has to be something else other than we are just not going to play a game as the 13th ranked team in the country. It is it's just that is the pettiest thing I've heard probably in my life in terms of like college football to do that.
It is. It is. It's super unfortunate. It really is. But
So I
petty is
will
what's making
say
the world
I
go round
don't
right now.
think that James Madison and Tulane both don't need to be in the rankings. during the ranking reveal show, I think Nick Saban had a great line about this, and it's you
Mhm.
can't measure the Power 4 schools on one set of metrics to get into the playoff, and
Yeah.
then have the the group of 5 schools measured on something completely different when you're looking at the body of work for the playoffs in totality. These, like, give me positions and give me opportunities, like, I feel like you have to play your way in under the same metrics. You don't just get a spot as a conference champion in a conference that is not playing at the same level of competition as the other schools.
I mean,
Notre Dame
that
deserves to
BCS
be in
that
more than
BCS
Tulane and James
model is looking
Madison.
really good right now. I think we're all missing that BCS model.
I mean,
This
if it was a 4-team playoff, this would have been real easy,
Oh,
right?
yeah. For sure. For sure. I mean, we're all just kind of riding along with this playoff bracket that they think is so genius that they came up with. But I personally am missing that BCS because right now we're in a position where we're almost negating the importance of a conference championship game. Like literally, I'm kind of like, what is the point? What is the absolute
Well,
point of a conference championship? And like I say that, us coming on the heels of losing our conference championship, not saying that we deserve to even have been there, but I just feel like that this whole bracket system is just all the playoff committees sitting in a hotel room playing chess, except all the pawns are the universities playing college football right now.
they did a really good job minus the James Madison Tulane, which that's something they're like, "We have to deal with."
I
I
think
don't know if
Alabama
they
should be
think
in.
it well, I differ from you there. I do think we should be in based on our body of work over the entire season.
Mhm.
The Oklahoma game on has been dirty. I think we've had a lot of injuries, and I think we need to regroup. Ty Simpson, I think he clearly got a concussion in the Auburn game. Like, he was throwing at people's feet yesterday. He was not reading the coverage. I mean, Georgia is a damn good team, but for
Mhm.
him to not make some of those like wide open passes was very uncharacteristic. I think we can get back in the time between now and our first playoff game. Hopefully, we can get our players back healthy and start playing the style of football that we played middle of the season. But if we're going to play like we've played the last couple of weeks, we're going to get killed again by Oklahoma. And I don't love that
I
we're playing them. And I don't love that we'll have to go through Indiana if we do win that game. But I think we're happy to be here. And I think it's an honor to
I
make the
don't agree.
playoffs.
I think our run game has looked piss poor since Florida State. I don't like this whole entire season. I have been like, that is not the University of Alabama that I'm used to watching. And granted, we trying to give Kalen, a little bit of grace because it was his next season and blah, blah, blah. I think we're ranked way too high. And I knew after the game that we played against Auburn that we were not going to play very well against UGA. Ty Simpson is great, but I will tell you that Ty Simpson, you can read him like a freaking book just by staring at his feet. He continues to panic in the pocket. He makes these rash, like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna run 20 yards towards my own freaking end zone and then throw the ball only for it to get picked off or batted. Like, I digress. Ty Simpson has done really great. I think the whole Ty Simpson for Heisman thing was incredibly overrated. I think that Alabama has been incredibly overrated. And I'm saying, as always, while I am a big fan of my alma mater, I'm also fair. And I don't think that we should be ranked 10th. I don't. I think we should have
So
dropped. I
we
think we should have
we
dropped even
finished
more.
ninth. So they made a decision because last week they moved us ahead of Notre Dame, right? So we flip-flopped
Right.
9 and 10, and we stayed at 9, which I think was a big statement from the committee saying that we are not going to discount or take away if you play in that conference championship. Like, you will not be, I guess you could be rewarded, but we're not going to punish you for playing in that conference championship game. Now, we played horrible, but we have also beaten that team earlier in the season on their home
Mm-hmm.
field,
Yeah.
which I think does carry merit. That's the best win by any team all season. So that carries merit, and I think you have to look at the body of work. And having Josh Cuevas out for the last several weeks has killed us. That is our third and our fourth down
Yeah.
guy.
Cuevas
To not,
having a
you
not
have to,
healthy
we have
Jam
other
Miller, not
receivers.
having a healthy Ryan Williams. I mean, like, are missing really key players. Again, I don't understand. And I said this to you last night, and I said it to you right before we started the show. I do not know why Grubb is still employed by the University of Alabama football team, because our defense needs a better offense. Like, I am just like so disappointed in what I continue to see over and over and over. I do not understand. We ran one great Proctor play, and it was like headlines. It saved our asses. It made us look really, really well, and we haven't done it since. And I don't understand. Like, I just am sitting here watching this game being played, and I'm like, listen, I will be very, very honest. I did not play football. I've never coached football. I'm not going to say that I understand how plays are created and how hard it is to be a coordinator. I'm sure it's a very difficult job, but I can tell you right now that what I've been watching, it should be very easy to implement something other than continue to do the same damn stupid thing over and over and over again. Just saying. It's infuriating.
That 4th and 2 decision to have Ty, who has not thrown an accurate pass all night, to throw all the way across his body. I told the people I was watching the game with, why did we not give the ball to Caden Proctor and let him run 2 yards? It would take their whole damn team to bring all 360 pounds of him down. Like, that to me was a more calculated risk and a more calculated call than that piss poor 4th and 2 across the body. Just on our own, like on our 15-yard line, like, okay, let's just give them a touchdown. What we should have done is punted the ball and play to not look like we got blown out in the championship game.
Yeah.
That would have been the smart decision. Like, we might not win, but giving them 7 more points made us look worse.
Our defense deserved better.
And they played like 38 minutes, or they played more than that. We were only on the field like what felt like 18 minutes for the whole game yesterday. What else can you expect the defense to do?
I literally, they left it all out there on the field. I just, in watching UGA, and here's where I also struggle, because the UGA that we played in September is not the same UGA that has been playing the last 4 weeks or even the last 2 weeks. They are a more complete SEC team now than they were at the beginning of this season. Gunnar Stockton has really locked in, and he has become a more accurate quarterback over the course of the last several weeks. And that is what has helped UGA, because they are really, everything was really coming together for them, especially when they played Georgia Tech. And we all know how badly I wanted them to get blown out by Georgia Tech. But I think that, that was a notable win. Georgia was looking really, really great in September, but they looked better last night.
Yeah, Georgia looked like they could take down anybody last night.
Mm-hmm.
They looked good. They looked really good.
They did.
And that snapped we couldn't call Atlanta Tuscaloosa East last night.
No, they reclaimed Atlanta as South Athens, which is, you know what? It's fine, because if we continue to play the mediocre ball that we've played all season, we'll see them in Atlanta again next year, and then maybe it'll be your turn. But until then, very excited about being in Norman in 2 weeks. Like, this is
God
BS.
Well, it'll be a revenge game, right? Like, we can't let them beat us 3 in a row.
Dude, I don't want to freak.
Maybe Grubb needs like one size bigger. Grubb's
Listen, at one point last night, I was like, Mr. Magoo, if you get your head out of your own ass, maybe you won't need those damn glasses. I'm just saying. I just can't. It's infuriating. I don't want to play Oklahoma again, because we didn't look that great when we played Oklahoma the last time. And even if we do beat them, I don't want to play Indiana. I would rather not play any of the teams that they have. The path to the big trophy is absolute nonsense. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to play Indiana. I think Kurt Signetti played great football last night. I was a Hoosier fan last night. I was like, get the Buckeyes out of here. I was more than happy to see old Ryan Day looking sad and puckered as always on the sidelines after he got beat by 3 points. Was beyond happy. I don't want to play that Indiana team. I don't either. It's almost like the committee said, Alabama, we'll let you in, but we'll give you a horrible path. So it's kind of like, you win, you lose. The whole freaking reason why we even have this playoff bracket is because people got sick and tired of seeing Alabama and win the national championship game every single year. I mean, that's the whole reason why they did that. So, congratulations, America. You got your wish. we're not going to be winning a national championship again. I've already come to grips with that.
It's like the second page of the odds. You have to like ask for more options.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at the odds because I don't know. I don't care to even be invested in it.
It has a plus in front of it, not a minus. We're used to seeing a
My
minus.
God,
It's like, please bet. Please give
that
us
is
money.
not my football team. And I'll tell you what, I think that we are in a good position where we can retire the damn black hoodie.
What about the alternate black hoodie? He had a
All of them
different
need
one
to
on for
go.
Auburn.
Maybe he
All
should
of the
try
hoodies.
a suit. Maybe he should try that and see if that makes a difference. Or we could stop talking about how apparel is having a huge difference in impact on how we play the football game. And like I said earlier this year, he can stop acting like everyone's cool stepdad, trying to be friends with the players, and get in the freaking locker room and teach them how to take this game seriously. I'm so hot right now. I can't even deal with this. But they have got to stop trying to be all cool and happy. Like, he needs to do so much recruiting and so much work during this offseason. Like, I don't think I gave him I did barely gave him a pass at the beginning of this year, but he's got a lot of freaking work that he needs to do. A lot. I am so enraged right now.
Don't be a spoiled fan, Riss. Don't be a spoiled fan. It's good to be humbled. It's a different day of football. We can't win them all.
Understand.
We're in the top 12. We're in the top 10 of the entire country. Be happy.
Okay,
Just
well,
be
talk about
happy.
being spoiled. We're not used to that, though, and I think that's okay. That's okay for me to not being used to being in the bottom of the top 10.
It even sounds spoiled.
Listen,
We were chatting yesterday during the game about how this like run it up the middle stuff gave us PTSD of the Shula years.
yeah,
Remember how bad those were? Just remember how bad.
I do. I remember how bad the Shula years were. I also remember the preceding years where we won several national championships and then developed enough money where we can not only construct one brand new end zone, but two end zones and increase tuition by 15 grand and increase ticket prices by $400 a game and build a statue of Nick Saban in front. I'm just saying. It just means more. Mic drop. I'm just saying, I would feel better about the outcome if we played the way that we are used to playing. And I know that we've got to hurt Jan Miller. I know that we've got to hurt Cuevas. I know that Ryan Williams is not at his best right now. And I know that, I mean, poor Talty, he was sitting over there riding the bike and doing practice kicks the whole freaking game, didn't get a chance to do only but one. Like, I know that we can do better because I've seen glimpses of it. I've also seen where we got really lucky throughout this season. I miss the process that made us look like a developed and seasoned team. And I know that we're missing a lot of aspects in that, but it's just an observation of something that I miss of games and years past. That is all.
I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to get back on track with Oklahoma. I think 2 weeks, a week of rest and a week of preparation. Remember, Oklahoma had a bye week before they played us. We were coming off of another tough road win leading up to Oklahoma. So I think the team understands the urgency. I think we'll have our injured players back who are also leaders of the team. Be optimistic, Chris.
I'm
We
just
can be
saying
optimistic
that
and then we can be
Jam
scared.
Miller was hurt a lot between the end of August and the end of September. And when he came back
Sam
and he
Miller's
played,
not what I'm talking about.
I know. I'm just saying, though. Well, I understand that, but I'm saying, our dependency on one player is not the team of the 2009 through 2013 squad, where our depth chart was so freaking insane. It was like Heisman, NFL draft, Heisman, NFL draft, NFL draft, NFL draft. I mean, it's not the same. We're not the same seasoned
We're
veteran
never
squad.
no
No.
no one's gonna be like that anymore. You can't sit around and
Yeah.
stockpile talent in the
Yeah.
days of NIL. So I think that like what we're seeing now is probably going to be more realistic for a
Hmm.
lot of schools moving forward. Is like I don't think you're guaranteed to have these dynasties and to continue to repeat and to continue to have players that are just next man up's just as good as the one that got hurt. Like I
Yeah.
we're in a
Fair.
we're in
I
a
know.
weird time right now, and I think there are going to be changes. I think there are going to be there have to be caps on NIL. You can't just have a billion-dollar roster. But again, I think Saban has said it multiple times. You can pay all the players you want, but if you're not paying the right ones, you're shit out of luck.
That's very no,
And it's
very
true.
true.
And some
Very
people
true.
have the eye for paying the right ones. Signetti, right?
Very true.
Texas
Very
Tech.
true.
Yeah, I mean,
I
they've
know.
built a standout team too. So I think that's the eye that I think jury's still out on Kalen is if he can find those players to come in because like Simpson's a Saban recruit, Ryan Williams is a Saban recruit. Like we still have a little bit of those that are kind of trickling out. Who's going to be the new class that he brings in to fill some of those like rock star spots?
Mhm.
To your earlier point.
We'll see. I will be patient and I will be calm, but I said what I said. I will stay spoiled because when you're in the SEC, you kind of allow when you're I mean, hell, when you're in the Big Ten, you're allowed to be a little spoiled. I'm sorry, if I have to spend $700 on a national championship ticket, I get to be a little spoiled. And when my ticket prices drop down a little bit, maybe I will be a little bit more humble. But until then, sorry, but this is what you raised. Alabama, spoiled fan, expecting more.
I feel like
No one's
I'm
dusty
gonna have
son
to
is going to take me to the Pop Darts Bowl and think that I'm going to be impressed because I'm used to New Year's Eve, like top 4 on the road to the national championship game. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to have AI help me take this video and like put Kalen's head in the middle and we'll be like the angel and the devil talking back and forth to each other. Like that would be great.
I
That's what
I
it sounds
know.
like. It'd be the first
I
time
know.
anyone ever called me an angel.
It wouldn't be the first time I got called the devil, but it's why me and that guy broke up. All right. So what else? What's the other drama other than people are mad about because people have big feelings about these rankings. I don't know if you've looked at any of the comments, but there are big feelings. People are real butthurt about the rankings. I know people are real butthurt about Lane Kiffin getting a new girlfriend, even though I love that he was opened with welcome arms in Baton Rouge. I think we're all kind of just waiting to see what his recruiting is going to look like. I don't know who all did and did not get on the plane, but I guess we will find out shortly. Also, it looks like every open position in football right now has been officially filled. So,
Was just happy that Penn State was actually able to hire their 17th pick. Like Matt Campbell, congratulations. You were last to the podium and first to accept. I thought for sure that BYU's coach was going to go. Like he was being pursued pretty hard, which he was also like probably fifth choice.
yeah.
But then like you can't beat the Mormon church. You can't beat the crumble cookie CEO. Like they got in and
Oh,
those Mormons rallied to keep him and Provo, which beautiful city, but
hmm
they leveraged his religion and they
yeah.
leveraged that money to keep him in town. So Penn State hired away Matt Campbell from Iowa State. Congratulations, buddy. Go do good things. You
And
have
it
no recruit.
took them quite some time,
Zero
although
recruit.
oh yeah, I know. It took Penn State forever, which I think was crazy because it took Kentucky like 12 hours.
It
Like
took a lot of places, not very many. Auburn hired within like 4.
it's amazing. They should all be like that. This is
So
not The Bachelorette.
you fire James Franklin and then you're like, shit, like what do we do now? Did they sign anybody on like signing day? They didn't sign anybody, did they? I don't think they have one person on early signing day.
Nope, not at all.
All right.
Yep, we have a lot of things to be on the lookout for. We have a lot of things that we need to be watching for between now and the infamous deadline of January 2nd. So we will see and we will be watching.
Yes, we will.
What else are we on? Got on our radar reach.
I don't have anything else right now. I think we're taking next week off. We're going to have a great episode that's coming out, though. We sat down a few months ago and had an interview with Channing Frye to talk a little bit about his NBA career, winning a championship, being on the team with LeBron, and then also introducing his wine company, winery, Chosen Family Wines. So we sat down and had a great interview. So that will be coming out next week in lieu of our next episode. But we'll join you back or kind of right before the first round of the playoffs when this bowl
Right
season gets
before,
started.
oh my gosh, pre-bowl.
Crazy.
Pre-bowl. I am stressed out, but looking forward to it. So thank you, sports fans, for this episode of Gossip Girl. XO.
XOXO. Like and subscribe if you want to get more. All right, we'll see you all in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
I love you like